So I thought to do a quick video showing some of the online workshops. As a few of you have asked what they're like and how they work. So let me just show you how they look and some of the topics they cover. So this is how the workshop interface looks. And as you can see, I've made module 2 selected, which is the expressive paint module. Each module has many lessons, and each lesson has attachments like the reference materials, lecture notes, like this one here. So if we go back to the home page, you can see what courses you have available to you. So they are the ones you've purchased. And there's a little introduction video here. Okay, so let's take a look at Module 1, Expressive Drawing. So clicking on the video will begin the lesson. This window can pop out, it can resize and move around, or it can go full screen. So in this first lesson, we look at the basics of tools and materials, and what you need to get started, and the general philosophy and approach to simplifying drawing. So here we're going over different art movements throughout history. So realism, impressionism, expressionism, abstractionism. Let me just speed this up a little. And we discuss how we borrow elements from many of these different styles. And the approach we take towards drawing is similar to that of painting, because we want both skill sets to complement each other rather than hinder each other. So we lean more towards a loose, potentially more expressive approach. Okay, so just going over types of charcoal, proportional dividers and other useful tools. Then we jump into techniques. So my first suggestion when beginning a drawing is to start softly. We don't want to press too hard initially. You notice me moving around the page a lot at the beginning of drawings as I feel the form, so to speak. This is something referred to as ghosting, in the sense you're ghosting or rehearsing a line and barely committing to it. So we want to focus on lines that are straight, geometric, rather than curved. We're drawing from the shoulder. We don't want to draw from the wrist, as that will stifle our work. With geometric lines, we can draw curves. A curve can be drawn with all straight lines, which together make up the illusion of a curve or form. Focusing on angles of lines is one of the most important aspects when trying to determine the shape. The angle of one line will relate to the angle of another line, and it helps us measure and perceive distance. And it becomes especially important when dealing with something called foreshortening. You can also squint down, so squinting your eyes to simplify shapes. This is very important as it will reduce the detail we can see. I found that practicing speed sketches helps with focusing on the overall composition due to the time limit involved. There's usually not enough time to capture detail. So try and draw the entire figure with shading within a very limited amount of time. And then at the end, there's some advice on scale dividers or proportional dividers. Okay. So lesson 2 is about line work. I might just jump to the end of this lesson. It demonstrates how to work out proportions mostly. And then lesson 3 is the shading and rendering, or how we render the form. It simplifies down the idea of values and how they relate to each other. So a lot of my sketches make the most of 2 main values. and it can be all you need to create a convincing form. I demonstrate in some of these examples how I use charcoal and white Conte crayon, which you can see here. We try and break down the complexity of shading and relate it back to something simple, a simple object like a sphere. So trying to give a basic step-by-step method to rendering the form. It's always easier to understand what's happening when you apply it to a basic shape, like a sphere or a ball or a fruit. So then I just talk about how that directly relates to drawing identical values on a figure. You can map out from a basic object like the sphere onto a complex object like a figure. Here I am emphasizing the separating line between shadow and light. So I'm trying to show the importance of knowing where the dividing line is between those two major shapes. It makes for a more compelling contrast in the drawing. Then I think these are some examples of quick sketches, and also using one's non-dominant hand. So I'm doing a demo here with my left hand at parts. Also showing a quick trick to create midtones. You use a folded piece of paper and you kind of rub it over the form in a certain direction, which softens the results and then lets you go back in with darker darks and lighter lights. It helps create the illusion of form turning, or the illusion of the 3-dimension. Then it jumps into discussion on drawing portraits. There's a bit of a demo there. Okay, so the rest of the content includes full-length demonstrations of me drawing both figure and portraits. And each one has a reference attached. And that's it for Module 2, Expressive Drawing. I hope that gave you some insight into the workshops. Next time we can perhaps take a look at the Expressive Painting module. Okay, see ya.